The last method we are talking about now is multi-stage sampling. So the multi-stage sampling is kind of steps. It comes from the top and then goes to the down. Okay. So assuming that you want to take a sample, and then you want to take a sample for national duties. So what you do is that okay, I have the whole nation. So nation, I try to divide the nation into regions. Okay, into regions. Then I select some regions. Okay, or if I'm not select regions. Now I pick this region, okay, and I try to divide this region also into smaller units. That will be like the districts. The same thing I do to this. Alright, I do that for all of them. Then even the districts, I might pick them and divide them into communities. Okay, into communities. I do that for all of them. So when I reach where I want, probably I want to select communities, then I'll go ahead and pick some communities. Okay, I pick maybe 2 communities from here, 2 communities from there, 2 communities there, 2 communities there. I'll put them in my sample. Okay, so this will be a sample of communities. So this will be my sample, and then I have communities in there. This will be my people who take part in the survey. Okay, so that is basically what you do when you want to do multi-stage sampling. Okay, all right. So multi-stage sampling refers to sampling technique which is carried out in various stages in the population. So the entire population is divided into number of clusters. We are calling that the first division, or the first subdivisions are called primary units, and each of these clusters, primary units, is further divided into a number of units called secondary unit. These secondary units are also subdivided into third stage units, and so on. So you do that until you ultimately reach the desired sampling unit in which we are interested, like the communities. Okay, then in a random sample, you can use simple random sample, you can use systematic sample sampling technique to take the relevant people within each of these clusters, and then you do that. Okay, so these are the advantages: less cost, and then that we need the stage, and then a lot of stuff. Okay, so these are the disadvantages. Go through that and then we'll be fine. Okay, so the whole thing is that we try to summarize the first unit, or the first PDF. This is the note 1. I think we've ended note 1. Okay, we've ended note 1. So try to give a summary to note 1. So we said note 1, we started by talking about research designs. Why would you want to do a research? Okay, and then the various forms of researches you can undertake. We said that surveys, you can have 2 kinds of survey. Either you do a census, or you do a simple random you do a census, or you do a sample survey. Okay, a census or a sample survey. So the sample survey, you do that because probably your resources are not enough to be able to do a complete enumeration. Okay, so you take a portion of the population and then you work on them. All right, and we said that when you design or you want to do a survey, there is always going to be some error. Okay, right, the fact that you are not taking even if you are taking everybody, there's definitely going to be some error. Okay, that is going to so we have errors in survey research. Okay, and then the errors, we said there are 2 of them. Okay, we have this sampling error and then the non-sampling errors. Okay, and we said that the sampling errors are the type of errors that occur as a result of you picking a sample. Okay, so the fact that you are taking a sample, you are not taking the whole population, there is that error. Okay, and then you can measure that. Okay, you can measure that sampling error using the standard error, which is a variance of the sampling distribution of that statistic you are interested. Okay, and then you can reduce that sampling error if you increase the sample size. And we said that the non-sampling errors are other things other than just the sampling technique you use, or other than just picking a sample. Okay, so it can be that along the line, even the data collection, data entry, even in the process of talking to the people, there's errors that is going to be incurred. Okay, and these errors are categorized under the non-sampling errors, and these errors we can't measure them. Okay, these are some of the ways causes of non-sampling error. We may have sampling operations, problem of non-responsible, don't want to give you the information you want, they are hardcore, they don't want to give up, give in the information you want. All right, lack of knowledge, so people don't understand survey, the thing you are doing, they don't understand, you don't explain to them well, they don't want to give you the information. Concealment of truth, people don't want to give out what they have, they know probably you are going to use it against them. All right, and then some other things. So these are the causes of that. Okay, so there is another word, post enumeration survey, PSC, post enumeration survey. So you have to do that. Okay, post enumeration survey is a survey before the main survey. Okay, all right, no, survey after survey. Okay, I think post enumeration survey is conducted immediately after the main survey. All right, post enumeration survey, and then we have the pre enumeration survey. I think that is called pilot survey. So you do the post enumeration survey after the main survey to check the potholes and fill them. And then we'll come to the sampling issues, and then we say that there are two basic ways. You can either sample randomly or non-randomly. Okay, and then